Hi, I'm Bianca from WAM Workspace, and I wanted to chat to you a little bit about the analogy that I have of Facebook and a mall. We all know what a mall is like and where everything is and what to expect when you go into a mall. And I think it's important that people think of Facebook in a very similar way. So if you think of the internet as a city, and each of the social media channels is a mall. Facebook is its own mall, Instagram is its own mall. They're a little bit connected. Pinterest has a mall, and LinkedIn has an office park because LinkedIn is very much business. It's not really about shopping, it's more about business related networking. So, if we think about Facebook in particular as this sort of mall, and you think about how a mall works. So you have hundreds of shops under one platform, Facebook. The shops are Facebook pages, and so every shop has a storefront, and the mall decides who's allowed in and out of the mall in the same way that Facebook only allows people in once they have a profile. But once people are in the mall, you can't control who sees your page. You can put up advertising to point people to where your shop is. The same thing applies with a Facebook page. You can put up advertising to point people to where you are, but you can't make people come into your shop. You can show up all over the place, but until they actually come onto your page or into your storefront, you don't know who's seeing you and how many people are seeing you, etc. and so on. So that's how your Facebook page works. That is your Facebook page. Your Facebook page is the storefront. You want to make it look as pretty and as representative of what you sell as possible. And you want to make sure that once people find you, they actually can do the things that you want them to. So the people. Profiles on Facebook are the same as the people walking in the mall. A business can't be walking around in the mall. You could have a representative of the business walking around in the mall and doing advertising and those sorts of things, but you can't have a business physically walking around the mall. So it's important for you to think about that when you are setting up your business on Facebook. Profiles are people. They need to be actual people that you know. So setting up a profile for your business is firstly against the rules of Facebook, but also it's counterintuitive. People have relationships with people, not with businesses. You may like a particular business a lot, but it's the people that you actually deal with in that business that you really appreciate. So it's important to keep that separated. People are the profiles, and the same goes, and the shops are pages. So, for example, a page can be found by anyone. You can't restrict who can see your information like you can on a profile. So if you are a business coach or a speaker or someone where your name is your product, you will want both a profile as a person and a page as the business. And it's important because on your profile, you may share pictures of your children or your favorite holiday or those sorts of things, and you only want to share those with people that are close to you. Whereas on your profile, on your page, you will want to share things about your business, and you may not necessarily want your family and your friends from high school hearing all about your business stuff on your profile page, on your profile newsfeed. So that just kind of gives you an idea of how to separate pages and profiles. So now we're back to the page and your shop. So the front shop that anyone can access once they're in the mall is your page, and that's where you're going to share the products that you sell, the services that you sell. You're going to share information to encourage people to come into your store. You might ask customers who've worked with you before to tell other people. That's sharing testimonials and reviews on your Facebook page. And in exactly the same way that if you were a physical store, you would ask your customers to please tell their friends to come and shop with you. So that's your Facebook page. So now, what is a Facebook group? So a group is normally managed by a page, and in this mall analogy, I think of it as the back room. So you can choose who you invite into the back room. So if you think about a mall, you've got the front-facing shop, and a lot of shops have a room in the back where they might have demonstrations specifically for their clients, or they might have special private invitation events. Think about Le Creuset, who has their invitation-only launches at their shops. It's by invitation only. And how do you get those people? Those are the people that you invite or allow into your group. And sometimes you have to pay to go to events, and sometimes they're free events. And it's exactly the same with a group. You can have a group linked to just wanting to market to people that can actually interact with each other in the group. Or you might have a paid group, a group that's linked to a paid program, and that's for people to talk specifically about a course that they're doing together, or people that are into a particular hobby. So exactly the same thing as you would have at any mall. There may be meetings at the Starbucks of people who get together. Like when I was a nanny, there were a bunch of moms and nannies with small kids who would all meet together, and we would go walking through the mall. Now, that would be a group. It's not necessarily organized by Starbucks. Starbucks just happens to be the location. But that's kind of how I think about groups in the sense of the mall and the sense of Facebook. Groups are there for you to build a community. So think of a group as a community of people that have a similar interest who are wanting to interact with each other. And your page is there for everyone to have a look at. And you want to make sure that it's enticing enough that they either become customers or they part with some sort of information, which then means that they come inside of a group and you can deal with them in a different setting. Because you don't know how many people see your storefront. You never know if people stand at the window and window shop and they have a look and they go home and they look at information about you and those sorts of things. And that's why, if you think about the mall and the shopping and those sorts of things, in the sense of the greater internet, the storefront is just that. It's a storefront. There's a whole business that's hosted on the internet somewhere else, and that is your website. So you should have a website, which is your home on a domain that you own. You should then have a Facebook page that points people to that website. And you use your storefront in the mall to market your business. And the business itself is hosted somewhere else. There's a head office, there's a factory, there's some other part of your business on the internet, somewhere else separate from Facebook. Because what happens if there's an earthquake and the mall collapses? Does that mean you've now lost all of your clientele because you were only invested in that mall? And that's the important thing. Is if for some reason Facebook goes down, are you going to lose everything? Do the people that come to your Facebook page know that you have a website? Do you send them to your website? Will they know how to find you if Facebook goes down? And that's the important thing that you need to be aware of. Think of Facebook as a mall within a much larger city that is the internet, and there are hundreds of different platforms. You might find that you need to connect more in the LinkedIn office park, and you may be far more interested in the art gallery at Pinterest, and your people prefer pictures. Or you may be far more invested in Instagram. But either way, no matter what platform you're using, you need to be directing people to your home on the internet. And that is your website. And that is what you own. In the same way that businesses don't only have a shop in a mall. You have a factory. You have a home office. You have a registered address that is not Facebook. And it's important that you do the same thing on social media as you do in real life. And I hope that this just gives you a little bit of an introduction to Facebook for small businesses and my analogy of Facebook and the mall.